Hey everyone, welcome to Tundra Talk. I'm Aaron Wagner, my friend Brandon Rooker, and we're going to talk about the running backs in the upcoming 2012 NFL Draft. There's only one cream of the crop, Trent Richardson out of Alabama. Thoughts on him, where he'll go possibly? Will he slip? Will he make top five?
Well, it's interesting. I think he is a definite possibility for top five. Um, and he gets like you said, he's the only premier back or premier back in draft wise
Yeah.
out
Yep.
there this year. So I think that helps him out. It's going to be really interesting to see where he does go. There are certain teams out there that could definitely use a running back, and there are a lot of teams that might take him because of the fact that there is nobody else in round one. So it's hard to say. I do not actually have any place that I would feel confident saying yes, he is going right here. But yeah, I think top 5 or 10 is probably a range in which he can probably fall.
Yeah, it's hard. I've seen all over. I've heard him going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be good. Have him and
Garrett Blunt back there.
that'd be a good 1-2 punch. Cleveland Browns are a possibility.
Yep.
But he'll probably blow out a knee because it's Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I've seen where he's flipped into if he's there for the New York Jets. I think that'd be a perfect pick for the Jets.
I agree.
I think they're getting a little carried away with having Sanchez throw.
Yeah.
So that you have him and Sean Green. LT still there too. Just run the ball down teams' throats with that.
That would help out a lot.
So yeah, Richardson he'll first half of the first round, but it'll be interesting to see if he slips at all. I doubt it. I think he'll go top 10, or a team would possibly trade up. But that's the thing. Running backs aren't as important nowadays.
Yeah, no, it's a pass first league. It has become majorly a pass first. So, Aaron, who would you say is the second best running back out there? I know on our list that we have here, which is compiled after looking at a bunch of sources to see what the quote unquote experts have to say. They say David Wilson, who is a running back out of Virginia Tech, and he's a first to second round pick. Yeah, they say that's the second best running back. Who do you think, Aaron? Who do you think is the second best running back?
The second best at this point, I think it's between David Wilson and Doug Martin. I'm a big Doug Martin fan.
You make
Out of Boise State, can catch the ball, can run the ball hard, and I think the main thing is he's a good pass blocker. And I think if the Packers get their bona fide pass rusher in round one, and you get a running back, if Martin's there at the second round, or if he's definitely there at the third round, I think they pick him up. I think that's important too. You got to have a running back that can protect uh, Rodgers as well. And I think he'd be a good back. What about yourself?
I have to go with somebody else. This is a guy I'd love to see in Green Bay. I'd take him in the third round if he was there. First and second, I really think you need a pass rusher and a DN, or a pass rusher and outside linebacker. You need a pass rusher. I think you gotta go defense first two rounds. But LaMichael James out of Oregon, I personally think is the second best back in
Okay.
the draft. And I know that's might be putting him up a little bit, but he's another guy. We talked about Russell Wilson in the last video, his quarterbacks with size. Michael James is another guy who's really small. Um, and I really think if he was, let's say 5 inches taller than he is, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, it is.
He's a guy that I think would be a probably easy first round pick. But I've been a huge fan of this guy just since he's really burst on the scene. Just watching him run, I think he'd be a really good running back for Green Bay. I don't know how good of a pass blocker he is. I think that would hurt him. And he's not an every down back. But I think if you have Starks, who's a slightly bigger back, and Alex Green, who's bigger than Starks even, and then you throw in Michael James, I think you got a really diverse backfield.
Yeah.
And I think he can be very good. And like I said, talent-wise, I really think as far as running the ball goes, he's the second best running back in this field. That's my opinion.
Yeah, the only thing that would worry me is I think he'd be good September through end of November, but when it gets colder,
You think he's the issue.
and you're gonna have to.
And that's
but
possible.
that's why you have
And that's
Starks.
possible.
You have Starks
Yeah.
for to run the ball, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's third round. If he's there at the end of the third round, I think he definitely thinks about taking him. Yeah, I like Michael James. He's a good. I think he not necessarily between the tackles, but you're on tosses or screens and stuff for him.
Yeah.
Or maybe even spread him out too. You can run him Cobb. I think this year I see more of Cobb maybe.
Use your
Wildcat.
athletes.
Yeah.
Use your athletes. Green Bay's got plenty of them.
Exactly.
And the nice part about this too is that because it's a run for Green Bay's a pass first team, just like the rest of the league is turning out to be. It's one of those things where you can take Michael James or a guy like Michael James and use him for his talent. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be an every down back. He can just contribute what he can contribute because they're not going to be leaning on him. So I think that's huge too because he has time to get comfortable and he has time to bring to the table what he can bring to the table. the whole weight of the world is not on his shoulders immediately.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's good.
Just two more running backs that could be possible. You got Isaiah Pede, running back out of Cincinnati. Saw him a couple times play this year, and he's like Michael James. He's really fast. He'd be a good change of tempo running back. Another one is Chris Polk. Right after the season, his stock really soared. People were talking about him end of the first round. His stock has probably come back to where he should be. That's another possible pick for the Packers. He's more of a between the tackles kind of running back. That's as far as my running backs go. Any thoughts?
No,
Any other ones?
I think you nailed it. I do have to make one comment though. There's a running back out of Texas that Green Bay could take in the 7th round named Boswick Whitaker. We're drafting just because of his name.
Just because of his name, yeah. I figured. Yeah, and there's the NFL's changed. Running backs aren't as important. I think you're going to see more of them that are for receiving types.
Yeah, no, because that's the trend. Because you're going to see guys that are able to adapt to the passing style of the game. And that's a good point. So it'll be interesting to see what Green Bay actually decides to do with their running back situation.
Yeah.
And see how things fall. So, Aaron, any more comments about running backs?
That's about it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, for now, I am Brandon Rooker along with Aaron Wagner, and we bid you adieu until next time. So, thank you for watching.